Alright, we are back. Back to the Brawl on the Mondays. With Monday Brawl and Brewing. Which is what we do on Mondays. Oh gosh. Oop, there we go. Hits. There we go. Running just a little late on Monday. Not for any particular reason other than just, poor as hell. Let me get resized real quick. Phone down. So that everything's set. There we go. And that should closer to the corner here. Very specifically. Field. And this should be like good. Might have to actually look into some preset settings, kind of like what Fish has. But like, hey! Hey there, heroes! My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber. And I'm here to let you know that if I can do it, so can you. And today, it's another Brew Monday. Another Brawl Brew. Probably... I need to, like, not be chewing gum when I'm trying to do my intro. Anyway, so today, we're going to be doing some more brew. I wanted to play some more Derevi Imperial Tactician. She doesn't have, like, the same support that she does in paper, which means that her power level is actually quite nerfed. I think that this card is insanely strong. She's very strong in Dual Commander, for example. But that's because she has cards like Winter Orb to help her out. Meanwhile, the best thing that we have here is Winter Moon, which I think actually can work against non-monocolor decks because we can tap down a lot of their lands. We can slow them down that way. We do still have like a Ristic Study. I'm still making some tweaks to the deck. I'm gonna have to make a couple cuts before we really take this bird out for a spin. But on today's dailies, which I do want to make sure we get knocked out, remember that there is currently only 7 days left in the Mastery. So if you need to get your last couple of packs to really max out, and this is the last week to do so. This also means that next week is a holiday. Right before, I believe, Foundations comes out. The Foundations is coming out on Arena. I'm going to be doing the Dustmourn wrap-up. I'm going to be doing the Dustmourn... go back, look at the cards, talk about what I thought was cool, talk about where I was personally seeing some commanders, and given the old tier list ranking. So that'd be great. We gotta cast like black and red spells or black and blue spells. I could probably knock that out with just playing mono black. And as it happens, I do need to update our zombie deck. I went out and got myself a Toxic. There we go. Good old Toxic Days loop. Do I already have Dam? I do already have Dam. Excellent. So let's just make a quick cut there. Future room. Probably just cut blunt. A reason to like change out all the maybe do a little bit of Cloak and Dagger, just a skosh, just a little bit. Oh, by the way, if you missed it, we officially launched V Chronicle, the Vtuber collab group that I started with my friends. Mind Spike on the first turn, Headless Rider. Mind Spike is pretty nice, but then what do we have to build up? You cast Panglacial Worm. How dare you? I think we can do better than this. Dark Ritual is a lot better than this. Especially if we can go Mind Spike, Crypt Breaker, push even. So let's go Mind Spike first. wash away, nowhere to run. Target creature gets make 3 -3. Creature opponent's control can be the target spells as though they didn't hexproof, so this is just removal. Take away the wash away. Then the next turn we can Dark Rit, Bastion, and Crypt Breaker. We can even Dark Rit Lily out. I think I like Dark Ritualing. Go ahead, plus.
I value moral flexibility.
The Scarab God is going to be really hard for us to deal with. The only way to really like get rid of it forever is to exile it. Because it's a command, they can just recast it. So we can go Bastion of Remembrance on the next turn. Iron Crag. I don't have any like actuals. Go ahead and keep ticking up. I don't even really care that much if we get bogged. Getting Bastion down means that the removal is just like significantly worse. We've also got Feed the Swarm. This returns Scarab God to their hands, so they do have to at least spend their turn to replay Scarab God. And our goal, because we're just trying to clear out dailies, is going to be to just try and cast as many as possible. Ooh. We don't need to cast Tainted Out. Go ahead. Like, if they remove her, then that's awkward. What am I worried about? They could end of turn flash in, say, a Snapcaster or something. They have the 4 mana to get the Curiosity if they really wanted that. So let's pass the turn. Just play a Crypt Breaker. And then this is a flash enchantment, so like they could actually do this, kill the Crypt Creeper, yeah. Yep, there goes the Crypt Breaker. And then if Lily survives next turn...
I'm always happy to take your money.
Ron, thank you so much for the subby. Yeah, we can go ahead and cast Crypt Breaker, and I would ideally like Headless Rider. But we need to like hit another land for that to work. We do not. We've got Dark Realm stuck in our hand now. I guess we can keep ticking Lily up. We can also just like replay Crypt Breaker, play the Grim Physician, or even the Adversary. I think I like that. Go ahead and do that.
Witness my power.
It's not a lot, but having the Crypt Breaker out means that we can convert cards into zombies, which means we can start drawing into any of our outs. Go ahead and get Adversary out. Like, they can counter Adversary, but... Oh, they're gonna mana drain. Welp. That's gonna be enough to let them cast the Scarab God with backup. We can always besiege, sacrifice the Human Soldier. That would let us grab... What do we want with that? Probably some way to draw, exile. Ashiok! Return target non-land permanent. Bounce Lily. It does die to both Crypt Breaker and the token if they do that, but then I've been struggling to hit lands. They could just make a 2/3, and like we have no way to really threaten that. We do have Fatal Push, which helps. Takinuma, thank God. What I would love to do is actually get Dark Realms down. So how do we want to do this? Fatal Push the token, but then I can't play Dark Realms. Obnoxious.
One person's trash is another woman's army.
Okay, we're slowly getting there. We absolutely play the Takinuma for sure. And then I can Fatal Push Start using Crypt Breaker, start making tokens. The Ashiok threatening. What is this? Just exile the top 2 cards of my library. We don't care too much about that. Having an island out me is threatening any sort of counter magic. I could beseech. Try killing it that way. I think I want to play around the counter magic, and that means having to give up one of these cards. I would prefer to hold up any of these. Go to main 2. I honestly think I just jam it. This probably gets countered. No! Okay. Dark Realms can tick up. You can grab any swamp. Alright, pass the turn. Now Ashiok has the ability to go ahead and just, like, reset any of our planeswalkers and time walk us. Now, missing multiple land drops a turn has just really set us back, but hopefully now that we have just a couple of extra lands, we can make this work. Yep. What did we lose? We lost Meathook Massacre. I care about this. This does just, like, melt the token. We play another land, that's a -4, but we just want her to... I don't think it's worth it. I think I want to hold on to this token so I can bargain. Like, if Lily's just plussing to get us lands, I'm okay with that. We definitely need to make sure we hit Ashiok so Ashiok doesn't just, like, pop off. Cast up to 3 spells from among face-up cards your opponents own from exile. And there's a Scarab God. Okay, yep. So we could Beseech the Mirror, blow everything up. Go ahead, get into the swamp. We just always play swamp. And then we could Wrath recast. Biggest issue here is that this Scarab God can actually exile stuff. We can always, like, Fatal Push something out of the way. Scarab God costs 5, so we can't Fatal Push that. Wait, no, shit. Okay, shame scoop, shame scoop. Cast up to 3 spells. They get Meathook Massacre. Okay, that's not the worst. Well... I can promise that that was not what I wanted to do, like, at all. We also have the option of, like, -3, get rid of the token. Kind of like that, actually. Go ahead and get rid of this token.
Feeling scared.
Next to combat, swing out at Ashiok just to, like, keep their options limited. Pass the turn. I guess next turn I do have the option of Fatal Pushing and Beseeching. Still need to figure out what I'm Beseeching, though. The good news is the token by itself can't actually knock off either Liliana. And then Liliana being at 5 next turn means that she can kill off the Scarab God, but we're just going to keep drawing swamps as forever. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, then that player exiles a card from their hand. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the extra draw. Like, this gets rid of the token. And then we have to exile probably this land, I guess. Just draw a new one with Dark Realms. Like, they really don't want to let Dark Realms stay around, because if that emblem goes off, it's great for us. And they get a couple more lands off of us. Only the Meathook Massacre. Okay. So now they have counterspell backup, which we do not like at all. No, they're just going to go Baleful Strix. Okay. Okay, we're making the comeback here. Always plus this Lily. Draw a new swamp. Play a swamp. Let's see. We can negative Liliana. Get to replay a bunch of zombies. We still need to get rid of Scarab God. What works here? Undead Augur only works for another zombie we could roll the draw card. I go ahead and I do this. Bargain. Sacrifice. They have to have a pitch spell. Alright, what do we want? We can Flare of Malice. We can Grave Pact. Grave Pact would probably be pretty pog. Because now they just can't keep creatures on the board. Grief, Languish. Toxic Deluge. Fall Arena isn't bad either. The rest is just like creature support. I think it's Grave Pact. I think that has the highest ability for us to just help us take over. And then what we're going to do is... Oh god. Scarab God isn't like a perfect kill of our stuff. And this can still bounce too. We can -2, get rid of the Strix. Trying to think here. Go ahead and play the Augur so that way we can start drawing there. Go ahead, plus Lily.
Into the grave with you.
The biggest problem is just going to be if for whatever reason... Oh, yeah. They don't have anything in the graveyard yet. They might have like a looting effect, a discard. We kind of just have to turn the corner on this turn specifically. Hope they didn't draw anything absurd. Scarab God only hurts us if we... No, they can do it twice. They can just take 2 of our best zombies. It'll be literally Headless Rider. Yeah, we're gonna have to use Liliana. If we lose the Undead Augur, that's a problem. Okay, we lost our Flare of Malice. That's whatever. This is coming at Liliana. This is coming at Dark Realms. Alright, so this always blocks here. And the Crypt Breaker just... I don't like either of these options. But we're gonna have, hopefully, enough stuff to, like, break this through. And Butlers are pretty great get. We still have a Fatal Push. We can Fatal Push any of the tokens they have. Okay. Let's go ahead. We'll plus, grab a swamp. There's just no reason for us not to. Alright. And then... They can take 2 of our best creatures. And they have to do it in response? How do we want to do this? I think we need to recast.
Do not wipe that smug look off your face.
Alright, so if they don't do anything,
Master
we get to
Death.
cast exactly 1 card. So it's probably, what, Crypt Breaker? We can cast the Tainted Advisory. They can counter anything. The Headless Rider only works for non-token zombies. Yeah, I think we cast the Crypt Breaker because that's the card that we want them to have the least. Like, them just popping off and getting all the zombies would be really, really bad. We still get, like, some amount of zombies here. Ooh, we get even more. So we can actually play the Headless Rider now. Which means we can go ahead and... probably just go, like, Mass Zombie Appeal. The Vizier Scorpion is a pain in the butt. I want blockers. And I'm gonna hold up a fatal push so that way they whatever token they get just like dies. Okay, so they're gonna grab the diagraph ghoul. That's cool. That is fine by me. No attacks, pass. Okay, and they're gonna make a 4/4 Baleful Strix. That's what we're gonna have to kill off here. Yeah, let's go ahead and hit the Baleful Strix before they get to untap. They do get a redraw out of that. The problem is that Ashiok can now just bounce the Grave Pact. And if that happens, I'm kind of fucked. I do get to, like, redraw off of the Crypt Breaker, and I do get the drain off of the Bastion of Remembrance. Let's see if they... No, they're going to bounce the Undead Augur. Is there a world where I use Crypt Breaker? You know what? Go ahead and activate this. We'll just let the Shambling Gas and the Grim Physician die out. And now I have to exile a card. Let's go ahead and exile the Swamp. Yeah, no, you know what? No, let's go ahead and exile the Signet, I think.
Fade into the shadow.
Like, as it is, they're swinging in with a 4/4 and a 5/5. And decided to use Ashiok for that. The Gas and the Physician die. They get replaced. I lose 2 more cards. That's fine. Block like this. Now, something that they could do is... Actually, hold on. Don't think anything... Go ahead and make that pressure. Oh, I guess the Physician makes that kind of matter. They do get to sacrifice 2 things, so they're going to sacrifice both of their tokens. I'm not sure where they want to go with this. Always plus low. Just like continue drawing swamps. Don't think there's anything here I won't bog away just yet. We definitely send everything to Ashiok, right? We send 2 token babies to Ashiok. Don't think the Lord of the Cursed matters too much. I'm trying to think if there's any reason for us to do anything pre that. I think we go ahead and play the Undead Augur in case they do have removal. They would have to have 2 points of removal, so we probably want to attack with the Headless Rider as well. Get rid of Ashiok once and for all. Remember that the Scarab God has the ability to make 2 clones. Ah! Ah! I should have played the Accursed first. God damn it. Alright, so that's 3 tokens. And one of those survives at least. Yeah, I fucked that up. I mean, they do lose the Scarab God at least. So maybe it didn't end quite the way. Ooh, Graph Reaper. That gets rid of Ashiok. Okay, so that's not bad actually. Now we can go ahead. Let's go ahead and draw 1, 2, 3. That's not bad. We can play Phyrexian. Oh, we didn't. That's right. Okay. We always play out this Graph Weaver. Sacrifice this token. Kill the Ashiok once and for all. Ooh, that's a jet medallion. Now we can go ahead and here's a Lazotop. Here is Shambling Goblin. Here's a Crawler. Pass the turn. Now the Scarab God goes into their hand. That is fine. Phew. Okay. I mean, they could just, like, Psych Rift us. That would be fucking miserable. But they don't have it! Woohoo! Okay! I was ready to, like, just pick it up there when I accidentally, missed the Beseech the Mirror, but it ended up working out okay. Like, Jesus Christ. They exiled how many of our cards, but it just kind of didn't matter. Like, I don't think there's a world where as soon as I activate Liliana's -3 to recast zombies, that they let me keep the Crypt Breaker. I think the Crypt Breaker is actually just a really, really powerful tool to just overtake everything. Also, thank you, Liliana of the Squirrel Realms, for giving me a land drop literally every turn. That was incredibly helpful. You are MVP goated. Yeah. Oh god. They also have the chance to, like, yeah, okay. Yeah, the Crypt Breaker drawing us those extra cards helped out so much. That's not a matchup I think we normally win. But because we had the Bastion of Remembrance, we just got there. I've only got cast like 4 more spells for black and red. They're like a, let's see, black and red. Do I have anything that would be like just super, super fast? I only need to cast like 4 spells, right? Just play the lizard deck real quick. Knock off the dailies. It's Tatyava. We're not winning this. We're just here to play spells. So we're gonna make sure we can play like a spell every turn. Scorch Splitter. Dragon Skull Scummet's Calling Charm. We can keep here. We don't want to cast like any lizards before playing Gev. At least I don't think we do. If we could go ahead and cast a Scorch Spitter. But if we want to, like, turn 1, grab a Surveil card. Just kind of works out better that way anyway. Then the Dragon's Skull Summit comes into play untapped. We can play Gev. And I'm going to go ahead and crack this now, just on the off chance that Tatyava's playing Stifle. Dark Ritual. Actually, you know what? Let's see, what's this? Whenever one work deal combat damage, conjure a random card into hand. I think I hold on to that Dark Ritual for a Fell to the Profane. Yep, that's Bristly Bill. That's Inferno Grasp, actually. Now I get to cast. I didn't even get a chance to cast the rest of my spells. Am I going to be what, like 1 spell short for the daily? No, okay, we got there. Okay, we cleared away the dailies. Only because the deck I'm really looking forward to trying to clear out. Bird deck. Okay, so we've got 2 cards in there that we need to cut. I don't really want to cut any more creatures. I think we're already like pretty set up. Right now, what I'm trying to do with this Derevi deck is I'm trying to make it a very small, quick tempo-based deck where we can get in with a lot of flyers, where we can, especially the utility flyers, where we can utilize a lot of the unblockable creatures that have utility. I was running Invisible Stalker and the like in here, but I wanted more cards that could impact the board and also have more payoffs for utilizing Derevi's tap and untap ability. There is a crime card that we could potentially run to help us start ramping out. I don't know if I can find enough space for it though. The Free Strider Shooter is just one of those cards that I feel like unless I'm very specifically playing some sort of a control deck, I'm just never gonna be able to find room or justify it because so often I play it and then it's just like it dies because the opponent does play removal, which you should be doing. Maybe I should treat it more like a 5 or 4 drop. That way I can like counterspell and get instant value off of that. Like look at, yeah, you know what? Just play the look at. We just gotta find like 3 cards to cut. We have 35 creatures, so I'd prefer not to cut any more creatures. The flyers are pretty great with Derevi because then you could just cast them for free. Then you get to replay Derevi at 4 mana. Just activate her ability, put her on the command zone. Originally, I was using a lot of the new survivors and stuff to help enable them. I don't know if that's what I want to do. I think there's just easier ways to enable survivors. Playing the Annie Oakley deck, the vehicles and mounts deck, it's just so much easier to utilize survivor mechanics. I'll revisit that deck. See exactly where we can improve upon it from the last time that Amy worked on it. The last time that she posted a video about that. I think the One Ring is also just like one of the best things that you can target with Derevi. When I played Derevi in paper, one of my favorite things to do was target a zombie, Lady of Scrolls, and then just like get 5 triggers on her and then tap, draw a card, untap, tap, draw a card, untap, tap, draw a card, untap. Like to completely refill your hand. I don't have Captain Sisse in this list because we are much lighter on legends. We've got what? Skrelv, Nadu, Click, Razzie, Sarthis. That's kind of about it. Maybe Delny. The paper version that I have of this deck is very legend focused. It's got Dragon Lord Ojutai, Dragon Lord Jamoka. Just kind of expanding on one of the sub themes that were in the original precon, the 2013 precon. So let's think. Let's think for a second. How much removal am I running? I put in all of the 1-drop effects that I like to have. So Patriot Simulation, Unwanted Remake, Swords, Path. We do have some tempo counter magic on the heart. Some cheap ones on the softer side. Expensive ones on the harder side. In case the gateway is actually pretty good for this if we can go wide enough. We're pretty light on removal. Like embarrassingly light, I think. We don't have nearly enough disenchant mechanics. Aura shards would be absolutely devastating to have. Like we really can't afford to cut out any other removal. We could easily get a Get Lost or something like that in here. Do I think they should unban Nadu? No. No, I don't think so. I don't think Nadu deserves an unbanning commander. The deck just, it's way too strong and dirtily. Like, it's the worst of both worlds. If it was just strong, I think it would be fine for things like, for competitive commander. If you go in like competitive pods and stuff like that, I think Nadu would be perfectly fine because there's a lot of setup that needs to go off really fast. But it's also the fact that Nadu just takes so long to get going, and you can't even shortcut the interaction because you're checking off the top for everything. So I think it's very much in that paradox engine of this card is just not good for the format. In Brawl, though, because Brawl is explicitly a one-on-one format where everything is weighted, So, you know, Nadu is only going up against the other super high tier commander cards more often than not. Then I think it's fine here. Let's see. Just need to cut like cards. Don't want to cut the flares, but that would be like what, easy cuts. Flare, Fortitude, Denial, and Cultivation actually keep our board state though, and they just still really like that with Derevi. I wanted to hold on to Paladin class specifically, so that. But do we have like as much of an issue? I wanted to play this for the anthem, so maybe. Paladin having the extra mana sink is also really good though. Not it for yes, just because I want to get the deck going. Heuristic Study, good for tempo. We probably don't rely as much on the one-sided Ras, especially since Annabelle is actually really popular right now. Annabelle's kind of being used as the an Impecal at home. Like, she's a very strong commander in her own right, but an Impecal has, I think, also gets weighted a lot higher, so players do have that incentive to swap commanders. We get matched against Narset and Enlightened Master, which means that this is going to be a game where we just need to go. Hedge Maze into Vantress is not the greatest, but we do get a Nadu to start. If we could get the Nadu to resolve with Spell Pierce backup, I think this is good. We'll lead off on the Hedge Maze, try and dig for another land. Let's see. You have the Click as well. And the Spectral Sailor. We can make up with tempo that way too. Alright, lead up with the Hedge Maze. That is Storm Tamer. That is counter. That's a nice thing to have as far as like counter magic to protect Nadu. But we really want to just dig for that third land. Delighted Halfling helps out a lot. And I am going to leave up the Spell Pierce in case they try and remove the Halfling. There shouldn't be anything that they can play that will get rid of her. They'll have to use a counter spell to do that. Sapphire Medallion. I'm gonna go ahead and counter that. They've drawn double blue, which they are not gonna be happy about. Alright, here's Nadu. Show me that you can remove him this turn. Or I'm going to attempt to start going off with Derevi. Is what I can do now. Okay, Takasi's welcome. Alright. Go ahead, attack with... Oh, wait, no, I could have played Derevi and then targeted. Whoops. Play. Because then that would have given them, like, incentive to actually... Do I want to untap the Delight Halfling? I want to untap... No. I need to just, like, start hitting extra lands. Ooh, and we do. Okay. Game white. We get the Scry. Flare of Fortitude. I don't think Flare of Fortitude is what here. Yeah, if I had played Derevi first, I could have actually untapped another land, and then Nadu would threaten to hit. Or I can even like untap the Halfling. Narset's a problem because hitting Narset doesn't actually do anything for us. And they hit Day of Judgment, punishing me for throwing away the protection. Goddamn. We do have Vendilion Click though, and we also have a way to tap down their planes. We don't have a way to tap down their planes. I am a fool. I am a knucklehead. Vendilion Click with the Delighted Halfling. I think we're just always playing out Ganjo. So we can swing to Revi. At their face, they block it with the Oracle. Yeah, I think that's what we're... So, let's go combat. Attack Nadu over here. Attack Derevi over here. And, like, they'll use the Oracle, block Derevi, lose Narset. Otherwise, they block, save Narset? Okay. So what I'm going to do now is what we call a pro gamer move. We're going to go ahead, flash in the click. Target them, look at their hand. The Fairy's Judgment, Tails End, Immortal Sun. Get rid of that Day of Judgment. Now we get to go ahead, target the Halfling. That finds us Grezux. And then I could play Takasi's Welcome. I think I do that because the Delay Halfling is just going to make Grezux untappable. This does also mean that we need to knock out Narset in order to draw the extra cards.
Keep an open mind.
They can play out Narset this turn. Yep, and that's what they do, because I don't have any way to interact with her. I have to just kind of pop off here. And I can't do that unless I can play Grezlix. That's me. We're not gonna draw the card off the Takasi's Welcome. Tails End, one with the multiverse in their hand is probably better than nothing else. Let's think for a second. We'll go ahead. Play the Grezlix. You don't get the draw. We go combat. We hit Narset. Boop, boop, boop. Narset's gone, so now we do get the draw off of the Grezlix. How do we want to do this, chat? I think we always untap the Halfling. And then we have 3 triggers. Let's go ahead, untap both the Fortress and the Halfling. Yep. We do. Now we're hitting extra lands. That's what I like to see. And we have the One Ring. Let's buckle up. Hold on to your butts, guys. They have Teferi's Welcome. Alright. They get Chandra, Hope's Beacon, Pearl Medallion, and Time Twister. We do not take damage. They're going to get the cast Time Twister for free, especially off of Chandra. I would like to hold on to the One Ring until tapping the One Ring after the fact. Remember that as soon as they cast it, Chandra's going to trigger.
Fire doesn't need a plan.
So we're going to do the draw 7 twice. Oh no, they're just going to cast one with the multiverse. Which means once during each of your turns, you may cast a card. They could just Teferi's Protection, right? Yeah. They could Teferi's Protection so that way they don't die. And then get another swing with Narset. Yep. Yep. Now we don't even get the tap triggers. Get on the box. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by. Yep. Oh, that's right. Wait, they can still cast that? Fuck. Alright. So now they get to cast another thing, and they've refilled their hand. I don't see a world in which we actually get anything done here. What do we need? We need, like, what? Just a green... Let's go ahead and crack this. Life total is irrelevant right now, so grab the breeding pool. Attempt to draw off the one ring. We do get to draw a winter moon. 1, 2, 3. That's not nothing. We've also got a brainstorm here. So then let's tap you for white. We'll cast Skrelv. That does let us draw another card. Let's see. This is untapped creatures have hexproof. Go ahead. Drop the Winter Moon. And we're going to have to be careful because we also are subject to the Winter Moon. We've got, what, 4 mana available? This is what, a blue. This would just be tapping green for green. I think I'm willing to play 1 elf here. Unfortunately, we don't get any of the hits. So pass turn. And hopefully this slows him down a little bit. But, you know, with the, oh, they get to untap everything but 1. Okay. Show me, like, just show me a time warp. Show me that you hit a time warp off Narset. And also, we do get to block with Nadu now. Okay, so they get the Immortal Sun. Uh-huh. So they do get to double seek, which means all their cards get cost like significantly less. They got 3 basics. Like, great for them. I think I do storm it. Try and like set something up. There's no way they just use Chandra, right? This is X damage. They could like kill Nadu, I guess, but if they do that, then I'm gonna go ahead and put some lands into play in response to the triggers. Alright, so they already got their copies. They have anything for free. They got 6 free spells. Or just like... exile all artifacts, creatures, and graveyards. Can we come back from that? I don't think we can. I think we just scoop it up. That wasn't... that was not fun. I guess I could have potentially untapped Anado specifically for blocking Narset earlier on. It's a rough match. To be sure, like, Narset is incredibly hard to deal with unless you have sweepers. And a lot of the sweepers that I would love to run in this kind of deck, we just don't get to play to affect her. Let's see. We have Cavernous Souls here. In a sense, Nadu's here, but we don't have... Unlike last time, we don't have the Surveil Land to try and dig for Nadu. Tamio could help. Authority of the Console should help. Okay, give her runes and negate plus a Fey Burrow Elder. I kind of like the idea of potentially slow rolling this, being able to play the Authority turn 1, then play the Giver Runes, which we can hold up negate. And that strategy does actually help us out with the fact that Fable Passage is going to come into play tapped, unless we draw another land. Alright, so there's the Elvish Mystic. Now remember, Grist can destroy artifacts and enchantments. It doesn't have any other interaction. We have a Tail's End. I would love to play the Fable Passage now, but holding up a Tail's End is actually just... Tail's End and a negate. So like if they have like any sort of cultivate effect, I can negate that. Grist. Do I care about Grist? I don't think I do. Normally I could just like Tail's End, but I can also Tail's End the trigger. That's an arcane signet. Is that worth shutting down? I don't think so. They've ramped ahead really far. They do have 4 mana this turn. They'll have 5 mana next turn. 6, actually. They will have so much mana next turn. Misty Rainforest. That is exactly what I wanted. I'm hoping that my counterspell back up here will get me going. I'm also hoping that we just, like, manage to draw into one of our engines here. Like, this is 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 mana. They can go for, like, a really big Haymaker. Something like a Prime Time. Yep, go ahead. Swing it with the Grist. Don't care. It's going to be tricky with the Rainforest if I want to hold up Negate specifically. Until end of turn, target creature you control gains when this creature dies. Return to the battlefield tapped. So they're going to cast some sort of sacrifice effect. I might even use like a Bone Shards to target the Giver of Runes. Okay. How do we feel about this? The Giver of Runes dies, and then the Grist comes out. The Grist starts pulling out some sort of starts milling, starts making a ton of insect tokens. A black card was milled this way. I think it's worth it to hold on to the Giver. Let's grab, let's see, any of our shock lands, really. We're gonna probably want double blue, so let's grab blue white. And then, all right, so that's gonna trigger Grist. Let's wait for them to pay the mana. Alright, so they do get to just make tokens. I'm gonna go ahead and negate that. Because now Giver can actually just, like, protect Elder, protect Derevi. They have to spend another kill spell to get rid of Giver. They're gonna make a bunch of tokens. Black card was milled, so they do get Death Touch. There's the Flare of Fortitude. Now, what do we want to do? Probably want to get Derevi going. Hold up the Tail's End, perhaps. We can Fable Passage. Derevi comes out. We can also Derevi here, untap a land. I think I like. Alright, and now we get to pass turn. We got Tail's End and Flare. We just need something to start going off. They've also gotten, what, 2 non-basics, which means Winter Moon can actually start doing some work. I'm going to go ahead and use the Fable Passage to grab a Forest. Like, they can -2, get rid of the Authority, but then Derevi just knocks it out. It's going to be another one with Death Touch. I don't think we used Derevi to block yet. Flare of Malice. We have to sacrifice Derevi. I'm okay with that. I might have to be. I could Flare of Fortitude. That doesn't do anything. Like, okay. So, they got a little bit of momentum there, but they need to actually deals combat damage to a player. Whenever you put one more negative counters on a creature, snake, they bog me. That doesn't do anything. Okay, let's go ahead and crack this for a forest then. I can use Derevi to lock down the Haptra. For a turn at least. Hedge Maze is pretty. Nadu! Nice, that's exactly what I want. I mean, I am worried about Grist potentially ulting, but they only have the Jet Collector right now. So I think that's honestly... No attacks, pass. I can now Derevi at instant speed, tap down Haptra. Haptra's not going to get to do anything. Maybe put one more neg 1 counters. Well, there goes a reanimate. They're making plenty of budge. Yeah, let's go ahead, activate. Tap down. Just in case they have, like, removal, I think. Like, the Derevi by herself can actually hold things down. Yeah, we don't care about taking 2 damage. We also have, like, Giver of Runes, which turns Nadu into, like, something that's actually just a little disgusting. Because then we get targeted, we target in response. They still don't have anything other than the Jet Collector to really, like, pop off. Nantaku can be a problem. Alright, so then here's this giant enemy bird. Go combat. Attack with Derevi. Show no fear. We could untap to get the Elder out. I'd rather hold up the Tail's End. Ooh, Fairy Seer. Yeah, we're just going to pass the turn. Because now we have Nadu and Derevi to hold down the fort. Nadu blocks Haptra. They have to have exactly like a removal spell. One removal spell is not going to be enough. Nadu starts Hidden Wrist. They do get extra clones of the Elvish Mystic. We don't care about that. We also have the Flare of Fortitude to prevent board wipe, unless it's specifically like a Toxic Deluge. Okay. So you get the Mox and Haptra. That's cool, I guess. Oh, you get a Grist token. That's cute. Activate only as a sorcery with a finality counter on it. I think that's fine too. I don't particularly care. Do I Tails End this? I don't think I do. Like, they can go ahead, make more budge. You just don't care. Like, what are they gonna do? Get rid of the authority of the consoles? That we can go ahead and Tails End. And now we're in a position where we can just go ahead and start smacking everything. Like, Nadu goes ahead, gets rid of Grist. They have to find a way to re-trigger Grist. They can only activate... Oh, the Mox ability only triggers as a... Okay, I see. So they can just go ahead and keep doing this whenever they want. Yeah, we don't care about... Wait, hold on, they're tapped out. Here's that. Go ahead, tap. Throw black. There we go. So, okay. Now that we have Nadu out, we can just, like, use Giver of Runes, give protection. If they try and, like, use any sort of actual removal spell, we can keep drawing cards. We just drew Dusk. And then we can continue doing that with Faber Elder, Fairy Seer. Even play Fairy Seer to set up Nadu triggers even better. They do get to use Jet Collector to just continuously put Grist on the field if we kill Grist. Rarely enough, which I'm kind of fine with doing that. Maybe I'm not like fine. This makes copies, right? There's the Haptra. Yeah, it doesn't exile the creatures. Okay. even with that really fast start, they didn't hit anything that was like really scary off of Grist. They needed to hit like a fucking like a Grizzlebrand would have been horrifying. A Vanefir, a whatever the moth demon from Duskmorn is, something like that. But also they went all tapped out before they did anything. If they'd held a card in hand, I wouldn't have blocked and I would have taken the extra 1 damage. But I also could have done this like end of turn as soon as they tapped out. So hitting the Nadu was really nice. Alright, we got enough mastery to get one of our boosty packs. Whisker Veil Forerunner, yay! Oh my god, this is actually... Oh, this is one of the cards I really wanted for Derevi. Actually, let's take a look at some of the other Valiant cards real quick. Because those are other also cards that Derevi can help us out with. Let's see. Swordmaster gives -1/0. This one gets 0/2, but then it has Sack to Naturalize. That's an effect you could potentially see needing to utilize just for like interaction purposes anyway. Becomes a target, tap a creature, doesn't help out. That's not what we want. Is it literally just the Forerunner? It might be. It might literally just be the Forerunner. And I'm okay with that. Now we have to think about what we're going to have. The lack of interaction still has me worried. Because it's like, if they drop down a particularly egregious enchantment or artifact, I have not put in anything that would actually interact with that. We're just trying to like aggro them out right now, and with a deck shell that doesn't really like play aggro, it's more like tempo. Sarthis has tap creatures control of Death Touch, untapped, have hexproof. I think that's still good to have here. You could put in the Wandering Rescuer because she has the Convoke to protect tap creatures. And then the tap creatures have hexproof. Sorry. Maybe I took at the Recon mission. Recon mission actually has like Saboteur, but I think the Veil. The Frontier Runner. The Frontier Runner has a better chance of actually like is going. A Reverse Rebuke probably wouldn't be too bad either. Any number of naturalized effects would help. I'm trying to think. Maybe I don't think Kellen's quite it. Kellen does draw them the extra cards. We're playing up against Glarb. Having Delighted Halfling turn 1 would be pretty great. The Shoreline Looter, we can play Derevi pretty quickly and start getting some strong tempo that way. So I'm very happy to go ahead, play the Wooded Foothills, grab green white, grab blue white. No, grab green blue. Grab green blue. This way we can go ahead and cast like the Shore Looter. We can go ahead and play the Falls. Yes, actually. Let's go ahead. Arid Mesa for blue-white this time. Because now what I can do is play Derevi. Derevi can't be countered. Untap this one. They can just play a Fatal Push now and kill Derevi. If that's what they do, they are not going to do that. Now we can go ahead and play Mausoleum Wanderer. Mausoleum Wanderer can sacrifice itself to counter target instant or sorcery where unless they pay X, where X is its power. Currently it is 2, and then whenever another spirit comes into play, it gets +1/+1. That's really not ever going to happen. I could play Grazilex. I think that's what I'm going to do here. Now I get to potentially draw a couple of cards and also untap. Let's drop the Wooded Falls, go combat attack. Get to untap 2 lands. Untap the Hallowed Fountain. Untap Falls. Notably, I could tap down their cards specifically so we don't have to worry about counter magic. I think I'm going to go ahead and drop the Shoreline Looter too. They're free to try and counter that if they want. Mana Drain. We're absolutely going to hit that. There we go. It looks like they forgot about our good old friend, the Mausoleum Wanderer. Wait, why did they... How did they... For whatever reason, the Yavimaya Coast is untapped. But yeah, I think they just forgot about the Wanderer. They might have been contemplating countering the Wanderer before, but spending a drain on a Wanderer doesn't seem like a... Like, this is what we want. This is what we want to do. We want to get Derevi out, like, as soon as possible, and then just, like, use her ability to tempo out and get a good amount of cards while holding up removal and interaction. Most of the removal that we do have is creature-based, specifically so we can get our creatures to connect to their face, and then hopefully get some of the other benefits as well. One or more creatures deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Draw a single card, I see. Didn't realize Grazilex was only 1 card. Alright, so Grazilex is not a true recon mission. He's actually more of a, It's more like that room. The one with the 1 mana bounce side. Whenever one or more creatures deal, so it doesn't really matter how many it hits. We just draw a card rather than multiple cards, which is probably for the best, considering that I've seen mono blue commander decks with Grazilex where they can run a bunch of evasive cards, and if they just drew all the cards forever, they would never run out of gas. That's horrifying. Ugh, Vaja, Jaws of the Conclave. I don't think we can beat this deck. This has Vigilance and Trample, and whenever it attacks, put X1 counters on each of the elves and then draw for each wolf. The Ward 3 is what makes this disgusting. Nothing we have is fast enough for that. There's Mausoleum Wanderer, there's the Lighted Halfling. We're on the play, so we can give this a go. Okay, let's go ahead, grab... What? Ooh, no, we need to grab green. So we'll go ahead, we'll play the Halfling first. And then we'll go ahead, drop the Derevi. Player of Cultivation. Huh. So let's go ahead, cast a Derevi. We get to untap 1 card. We could potentially sacrifice the Halfling to Cultivation to try and speed up even further. But that's kind of just swapping land for land. Play the Wanderer, pass the turn. I could also, like, use Flare of Cultivation, sack Derevi, but we're just not going to have time for that. Alright, so that's Lowe's Cobra. They're going to go ahead, play a fetch land. They get to drop so many elves this turn. I think Vaja is just going to outscale us. Like, I can drop Welcoming Vampire next turn, then drop the Looter. Yep. That's 3 whole mana. And if they have like a bolt or something for Derevi, Wanderer can't actually like do anything about that. And Narcomancer. There's Nadu. Nadu's actually pretty pog here, right? That might be the only way we get through this. So we go ahead, we play Nadu, we play our tree line. Alright, we go combat, swing in. And I'm definitely going to untap the halfling. Oh god, I wish I had flash right now. I could hit the wanderer to try and get some extra. I kind of want to hit the shoreline looter so that way we can get even more stuff going. I think that's what I have to do. Having safekeeping. Yeah, go ahead, play the looter. And we already played land for turn, so I can't use the Flare of Cultivation here. The Nado means that we have a chance. It's not a great chance, but it's a chance. Like, they're gonna play Vaja. And if they have a way to give Vaja haste, well then, at least they only have one elf out. I don't think you play these cards. I think you... Beastbinder would be amazing. Alright, let's go ahead. Tap you. Because we're just always playing Welcoming Vampire pre-combat. Go combat. Swing in with everyone. You cannot be blocked. And now we're in a simple position. We're gonna untap Delighted Halfling. I get more value if I actually untap creatures. And that's kind of what I need right now. I would love to be able to hold up at least one land, though, so... target at least one there. Oh, that's a Fairy Mastermind. That's Delny. That's pretty great. That's a Flooded Strand. You love to see that. Tap, untap, untap. Take action, untap. Now we get to draw and then discard. Am I willing to sacrifice for Flare of Cultivation? I don't think I am. I think I just drop Scrap. Okay, so I want to hold up the Tamios. I think I need to drop the Beast Binding. This lets me drop the card off the Welcoming Vampire. We have a Storm Siren. We're going to end the turn and pray to God that we don't just get murdered. I'm going to hold up this Tamio Safekeeping specifically for Nadu in case they have a Path to Exile. Arwen, Mortal Queen! Remove another creature gets indestructible until end of turn. Put one counter and lifelink on that creature. Oh my god. I don't have any way to shut that down. Up to one target creature loses all abilities on your next turn. And then also a Rex Sage. The Rex Sage doesn't do anything but makes their board huge. They're going to get a ton of lifelink off Vaja. Like, that's just what's going to happen. We're going to get fucking decked in the face for 18? Ugh. Kind of don't have a choice but to block. I can block the Anarchomancer at least. Willing to give that up. Yep. So, yep, that's going to get lifelink. So they just get 9 back and all of our aggro is completely undone. Or whatever aggro we had. I mean, we can play Delny. That's going to help out a lot since all these have their own Delnu triggers. I guess we could have also flashed in Mastermind in response to the trigger here. Let's just go ahead, grab out. We are severely lacking him. Flash in the Mastermind, we get to draw off Welcoming. They have like 1 green available. Hail's End helps out a lot. So how do we want to do this? We want... Delny. Because now we can go ahead. Attack with everything. We get to draw an extra card. Patriarch's Humiliation targeting Arwen helps. Move an indestructible counter from Arwen. Another creature gets indestructible until end of turn. Put a one lifelink counter and a lifelink counter. So neither of them have indestructible, but they do have the lifelink. Patriarch's Humiliation, shutting down Vaja 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is pretty grand. I think we just go for it. None of these can be blocked. None of these can be blocked. Power 2 or greater. I can't hit Vaja with this, unfortunately. So I guess the next best thing is Arwen. And then also the Lotus Cobra. And then what we're going to do is just try and Patriarch's Humiliation the Vaja itself. Always target the halfling, I guess. Honestly, we could like get a ton of land potentially if we just like target everything. Wow, look at all those triggers. Damn. Delny with Nadu. Oh man, we can actually just like case Vaja. Holy shit. Holy shit, what? You know what? I'll pay the 2 life here. What the fuck? Untap. 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 Wait, that's tapped. Yep. Decline. 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 Draw more card. Then discard. I think we can discard the flare now. Draw. Then discard. The forest, I guess. Play land for turn. Okay, this is actually pretty great for us. Because now we can just play case, hit Vaja, pay for the 3. Snake Skin, put a 1 counter, and then target it. I'm going to Patriarch's Humiliation in response. You pay the 3. I meant to play some more stuff, but okay. I mean, we're not in a bad position now. Now that Vaja's been nerfed a little. Ragavan, sure, yep. Monkey's coming down. Yep, they're swinging with everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I fucked up by tapping down this master. Fuck. Past the blockers. We're blocking with everything, I guess. I fucked this up so bad. Tamio's safekeeping. I think we just split up. I think we're just splitting up. I think I messed this up way too hard. Then do it like that. We'll take the 2. We can Tamio's a response. Correct this. Try and grab a basic here. We can now Tamiyo's hit the... Save the Delny, I guess. Oh, the Spectral could have helped us. I mean, we do get to just, like, wipe their board now. So that's cool. Wait! Oh, fuck! I did horrible math. Okay, so that was on me. I tapped down the Mastermind. I meant to play the Forerunner. We could have even used, like, the split ups, but, like, no. I just goobered that up. But, like, hey, we were surprisingly competitive. But, like, having both Delny and Nadu out. Yeah, okay. Potentially, like, shuffle Brainstorm. Maybe that's something that I should have considered. Illuge the Sea. Miscast Counterspell with Judge's Familiar. It's a little softer. Go ahead, grab this. Go ahead and grab our Hallowed Fountain. This is really just going to be mono blue control, and I don't know how well we are set up against that. We do have, like, additional counter magic, which helps. So, like, the Judge's Familiar to stop the Derevi is helpful. We want to grab green no matter what. We have to keep in mind that they also might be running any sort of flashcard like that. Am I willing to trade that? I might be. I could Unwanted Remake. I would like to hold on to the Unwanted Remake. You know what? I'll just take this. I wasn't expecting them to run a Spectral Sailor. Any of the 2-cost flashcards, sure. That's going to make resolving Mystic Study awkward. Now that we have Counterspell backup, I can just go ahead, crack this. We're going to need to make sure we grab some amount of basics. I think we're actually pretty nicely positioned against Winter Moon, right? We'll go ahead, pass the turn there. Like, we had the miscast to stop the tail's end. Search for Scanta does not get countered by a miscast. Alright, now we can go ahead, grab probably another blue card. Let's grab blue 8 again. Blood Strain, I'll take that. Every day of the week. Okay. So now we can go ahead, cast the Ristic Study. We can also activate Derevi. Here's the Ristic Study. They're not going to let this resolve if they can help it, but we have the miscast. And now, short of being able to bounce the Ristic Study, they just don't have anything they can do about that. And then I will leave the Unwanted Remake alive, so that way we can actually use it in response to Alush's Island Flood trigger. Alright, so yep, we do get to draw the 1. It's a Spectral Sailor, that's pretty cool. Alright, now before they do that, go ahead, this can just be a normal Plains, I think. Go ahead, there's the Unwanted Remake. They have to have a Pact Negation here. Potentially a Flare or a Subtlety. I think, no, Subtlety doesn't work because that's only creatures. So they do get the Flood counter, but without Illusion on the field, don't actually get to do anything with that. They do get the Manifest Dread, which means we don't get to just pop in with a Mystic Elf. Hey, a Delighted Halfling. What would I like to do? I would like play Derevi. Untap the Elvish Mystic to cast the Delighted Halfling. I can also use Derevi to like tap down any flooded lands that they have in play. We're not going to worry too much about the Dread token. All of our cards are meant to be evasive AF. But we're really far ahead on tempo right now. I would love to get the Sailor down so that way we can also start end of turning drawing cards. But the Ristic Study is going to be the real MVP here. I think the opponent might have also realized how far they currently are. Jace the Mind Sculptor's. Notably, having the Mystical Dispute is also why we waited until we had mana for Miscast to protect the Ristic Study besides just jamming it. The judge is familiar trading with the Spectral Sailor. I was also really happy to take that trade because it means that they don't have a mana sink. Alright, go ahead, pass the turn. They get to Surveil. We have Counterspell. But we're not likely to use Counterspell unless they try and Reverse Rebuke us. They're 2 mana short for that. I'd rather hold the Counterspell for something like that. Drop the Spectral Sailor so that way we can just start drawing extra mana. We also have the ability to hit them, start tapping out for the Sailor, and then get a refund on the mana. If we had more creatures to hit with, that's what we would be doing. But I think the opponent is currently in roping phase. And that's kind of why I think Ristic Study is just a strong card for tempo decks. Because you're either refilling your hand or slowing down the tempo that your opponent has, it really just turns the tide, so to speak. But if you're up against a really heavy control deck or a ramp deck, if they just like let you draw the additional cards without any backup. Alright, so we get a free Spectral Sailor. Here's a Fairy Mastermind. No combat. You can just go ahead and like draw 4 and then untap 2, right? Can. Delightful. Go ahead, attack with Derevi, attack with Spectral Sailor. At 4 mana Flash, they could have a Subtlety, but again, we still have Counterspell backup. We also have Mastermind if they attempt to draw any sort of cards. But that only works if they do like Mass Draw. I'm also like completely empty on waters, so I think after this game, we'll take just a quick break, refill that water, and then we'll be back with some more bird action. And yeah, that was too much for them. GG's. Ooh, and my face is like really warm. I should probably like go splash that real quick. You don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Activate Denier's effect. Time is just a little bit of a factor right now. Put the Banished Malicious back on top. And then activate. Ooh. Ooh, Nelly. Ooh, Nelly. And our reach is gonna like completely time out here. Oh my god, it's so I am low-key concerned.
Today on Animal Fact Files, we're discussing giant siphonophores. This episode was a request.
Oh my god!
Giant siphonophores have
jump scared me. You're right. It's not just a boulder. It's a pain in my ass.
Okay, but I think I have an idea compilation for a god. I need a Hero Girls noise compilation.
I'm gonna go for it.
And rather than punt, they're going to let the offense have a shot at this fourth down. Gets rid of it. This pass is incomplete. And the coach can't be happy after that failed fourth down attempt. His team just hasn't executed here early on.
It's like they keep digging themselves a bigger hole. There's a lot of football left to be played, so there's no need to take.
Alright, then we'll go ahead and we'll swing in. We're not gonna be blocking the Scarab. Oh! Oh! Oh, they didn't have the mana to pay for Pact! Oh my! Well, that's not exactly how, we were hoping to win that, but... Oh my, okay. Okay. The only reasonable thing that we can do is just, 4 dodge, 3 dodge, 2 dodge, fucking go for it. Holy shit! Holy shit! Touchdown! Touchdown, Brody man! Holy shit! Alright, we back. I think I like how the shape that the deck is coming in. Still play stuff like Witherblade and Herald because they are much cheaper than the 2-mana counterparts. Nadu is providing a lot of good value for us. Only 2. It's probably not a bad idea to think about some sort of all-purpose removal, like an O-Ring or a D-Sphere. Monster's Advocate, Future Sight for creatures, makes a beast that can block our bird. And then also, Echo Cast, or like just cascades into a creature. We have Scrap Gorger to go into, Elders, we have Rain. I think with Ramp plus the 1 Rain as top end, we're okay. Drop the Hedge Maze. Delighted Halfling. We're going to Scrap Gorger. I think we need... You know what, I'll hold on to the Halfling. Heraldic Banner. Okay, they are rampant out of control. In fact, it's going to be way faster than what we can potentially keep up with. So I am good. This does give me a 1-drop to play with Derevi at least. Yep, and that's going to be with Reach. Unsurprising. 4 mana. We want to drop Elder. Let's see. Crossroads. This can come into play on taps, so we're Tropic grabbing our fetch land. Let's just go ahead. We'll play the Elder. And then... Even though we do run into Winter Moon problems here, we don't have any other way to get mana that we need fast enough. Like, we're so far behind already. We're gonna need to use the 1 Rain to immediately... Frog Hemoth.
I brought friends. Lots of them.
And Questing Bees. Just gonna take that. Yeah, that was way too fucking fast for us. When it deals combat damage, exile that to many target cards from their graveyard. Put a 1/1 counter on Frogby for each creature card exiled this way. You gain 1 life for each non. This is free. I can also play the Elder, tap or Derevi. The questing beast, combinations that we do by creatures you control can't be prevented. That's creatures you control? That's not. God damn it! I'm trying to think through this here. We can go ahead, get the Derevi out. I would prefer to get the One Ring down sooner. I think that means we have to play. Hold on. We can Ganjo the questing beast, right? We can. Okay, so then this needs to be. Crack that. Grab another white source. We have to work on a strict timer here. Yeah. Let's go ahead and go ahead, tap that for blue. Cast bird. Untap. Go combat even, right? Right. Then questing beast we can kill that. We don't get the storm taint. Oh wait, we could have used that to tap the One Ring. Whatever. Exile the questing beast forever. Okay. Lucky, thank you so much for the biddies. We have no way to like stabilize beyond this.
Every day is a new mutation.
But everyone's gotta start somewhere, I guess. Primal Might. Okay, kill our 3-mana card. If we had... I think we just got fucking destroyed here. We need to hit, like, very specifically a Wrath. Yeah, no. We just got fucking stomped on. That questing beast fucking sucks. With the one floating, I could have taken an extra draw off of the One Ring, but I didn't even think about that. I also could have just like not like that was brutal. That was fucking devastating. The only way that I think we actually get around that is by having the counter magic to try and keep Vivian away, stop the beast. Maybe have the console's authority. Ristic Study, Free Strider Lookout, but we're up against the Jolly Balloon Man. The Jolly Balloon Man is obscene in that you could just like copy Skyclave operations, any sort of like value. You can copy Lauren, you can make balloons over and over. Skrelv helps with that. Takazi's Welcome and Ristic Study, plus the Lookout can help with that. I don't think this is fast enough, though. Lookout having reach, but also being boltable makes this a no. This might be a little bit better. If Skrelv gets to untap, we can play the Rivendell untapped. Otherwise, what we're looking at is... we just have, like, no turn 2 plays outside of, like, the counter spell. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Rivendell on the off chance we hit something that can hold up. Aaron Mesa is fantastic. I would like to play Innocence first. Alright, let's go ahead and grab blue. Grab blue, white even. We surveil off the top. Surveil off the top. Opponent, do you have priority for something? What would they have priority for? Maybe like a bolt? Snow-covered plains. Double white is tempting. I'll hold on to that. Just because then we could hold up like double white and then not have to hold up the blue. Now we can go ahead and hold up counterspell. So I want to drop Skrelv. I could drop Skrelv and the Enduring Innocence to like just make it. But Skrelv with counterspell magic and then Derevi backup. With 3 mana open, I think I just hold on to Skrelv. That way we can go ahead, play another Plains, and then go Enduring Innocence into Skrelv. Raw. Hello. Speaking of... Flooded Strand here. And then I could, like, upkeep pass. Hit the Derevi. Because the Nykthos isn't tapping anything soon. This is going to have to grab green, I think. We have not enough green right now. Grab blue. Okay, resolve. Now we can tap down Temple of Triumph. Forces them to use it this turn. Restricts how much mana they have to work with. And they kill Derevi. They kill Derevi. Solitude. What are they pitching? Pitching Samwise. That would be a horrible card for Derevi. The heckin'. And Cloud Shift so that way they can keep it out. Well, you know what? It did get some action out of them. Yeah, they can just have that tapped. Nykthos now taps for double white. They have nothing but white. Mirror Box. Legend Rule does not apply. Well, okay then. Go ahead, play another one. Working really hard on blue and white right now. I can still, like, cast Derevi. You can also, like, activate Derevi, Solitude. We can hard play Derevi, untap a land, play the Skrelv, hold up Counterspell. We can also just like play our Welcoming Vampire now. Kind of like that, especially since Enduring Innocence trades with Solitude. Yeah, we'll just play that with Counterspell backup. Alright, that's a sad bot. How do I feel about that? If they do that, they do get to ramp. But then we don't have an answer for Balloon Man. I think I just have to let sad bot go. Like, it gives them their double red. That is just, like, the biggest issue. Okay. Now we can start trying to do some extra stuff. Here's a Polluted Delta. We're going to crack that. Grab out... We got another Hallowed Fountain. And then we can go ahead and go... Here's a Welcoming Vampire. You have to draw another card. There's a Tamiyo. You're happy to see that. So Tamiyos and Counterspell. No attacks, pass turn. Welcoming Vampire blocks the Solemn. Okay, Beza comes into play. What? They don't make tokens? They don't make fish? They just have a 4/5? Okay, it's a 5/6. Okay, they get the... Oh, they get to draw a card and make a treasure. Okay. I mean... The Nykthos is actually getting pretty scary. So this is a scenario where I do need to, like, tap down the Nykthos so they don't get to do whatever it is they want. What would I like to do? I would like to dedicate 3 mana to protection, 4 mana to Derevi. We get to draw 2 cards off of that anyway. Let's go ahead. Crack this rainforest. I don't think we have any other untapped land. Well, we get the go ahead, play that. Now we can play Skrelv. We get to draw 2 cards off of Skrelv. Yep, we get Authority of the Consuls, which is huge for us, and Spectre. Alright, so is this worth it? I would love to get Consul out. We'll take some damage. I think we're fine with just passing here. And then upkeep. Go ahead, put Derevi out. We're going to tap down Nykthos. So that way they don't have mass quantity of mana, which I think is what they're really trying to build towards. We get to draw more cards, including Swords to Plowshares, which I am so happy to see. Like, everything's coming up Millhouse here. Like, they can Wrath, but we can just recoup the advantage so nicely. They could potentially play the Jolly Blue Man. If they play the Jolly Blue Man, Overlord, 4 damage to any target. Enters or attacks. So they're going to play that. We can Tamiyo's this turn. They have 2 treasures. I don't want to counterspell this. Okay, so 4 damage to Welcoming Vampire. There's the Tamiyo's. Okay, so it's going to be a hot second before they do anything with that. And nope, they're done. Okay. So that got a little spookier than I would have liked. Just because anytime that the Jolly Blue Man potentially comes down... This thing has haste, by the way. So, like, not playing the Authority of the Consuls on that turn specifically makes this so much harder to deal with if we don't have to counterspell. If they have, like, any sort of follow-up spell with just the 2 mana, or, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Like, it's pretty fair to just say they can go Jolly Blue Man and then wait, see what we have. They can start making basic copies, solemn copies, solitude copies, and start wiping our board. We're gonna have a hard time dealing with that if they, you know, exile Innocence, exile Vampire, all this other stuff. But it worked out. It worked out, thank God. The Authority of the Consuls, I would have liked seeing that a little sooner, but fortunately, they took a lot longer to set up than we did. And getting to upkeep, tap down their biggest mana source, and draw 2 cards off that, it's pretty great. Pock is going to be a hard one for us to deal with. Winter Moon actively does not help us here. Skrelv doesn't help us. Forerunner, like, it's just not a great hand for the matchup. Delighted Halfling can help us catch up a bit, because then we can start going into Grezlex and Needlethorn Drake, which trades. I think we're happy with this. Go ahead, crack the combs for green-blue, because we do have Grezlex right here. And the Aramesa always grabs a plane. Alright, we have Whisker Veil, we have Toski. We can go ahead, crack the Mesa, play Derevi. We don't have any follow-up plays to that, though. Oh my god. We could get an absolute crap ton of value if we manage to, like, upkeep Derevi on the snow-covered forest, but we're a step behind that. So let's think. What can we do? We can drop the Needlethorn Drake. If we grab another land, we can go ahead, use Derevi. We don't have any 1-drops to follow that up with. That just kind of makes this a little awkward. I think we have to go ahead, use the Arid Mesa. Grab green-white. Does the Halfling has double blue? No, let's go ahead and grab blue-white just in case we get knocked off. And then I can Grezlex this turn. But think. They're going to play Pock no matter what. Pock's going to immediately double lands. Grazilex gives us the biggest return, but the Drake can fly past that. Yep, there's Pock. And now they can go ahead and crack one of the Swim Swips on our turn. They're going to have an absolutely massive Pock. I'm praying to God that they don't have a fight spell to wipe our halfling off the map. That's really bad for us. It might be to the point where it's either 4, 5, 6. I might need to tap down the snow-covered forest to deny them enough mana. The Nadu is coming in just a little too slowly here. What do I want to do? I want to play the tree line. I can play Derevi, untap Halfling, attack with the Drake, get a second card to untap. Neither of these lands are going to come into play untapped, which sucks. Oh god, I don't think... I think I need to get potentially Nadu down. I think this is a scenario where I go ahead, I play Nadu, and I hope that being able to play Derevi next turn is what gets us there. Because we're set up for the long game, but unfortunately, because Pock is exploding in the early game, we need to draw a lot of removal. So Nadu can help us out with that. Grazilex and Toski can help out with that. Maybe the Whisker Forerunner. No, we need to draw spells. 4, 5, 7. Kogla would be devastating. Scape Shift. Yep. Okay, so they do get the Scape Shift. They're going to have an absolute crazy amount of mana. And they could... so that's going to be 4 lands coming to play untapped. Now they have 7 more mana. Any number of cards just ruined my day today. They have enough for Nissa, Ascended Animist. I mean... That's a 2020. Okay, so I have to block with Nadu now, or otherwise I just die. And they probably have like 1 mana pump. Alright. That's interesting. I don't know that I agree, but it's interesting. Okay, so here's Fabled Passage. Mana is no longer the pipeline here, right? Let's crack that, grab a forest, or grab an island? Grab an island. Okay, so... if they have a questing beast, that's what I need to Derevi for. I just don't have a way to, like... Forerunner, Toski... How do we do this? I want to click on their upkeep. So, play Derevi, untap the fountain. And then upkeep and draw. We're gonna click. Alright, so there's upkeep, past the draw. They get the draw. Here's click, resolve. Let's see what they got. Okay, so symbiosis, cultivation, and yeah, no. Send that ugly thing back. This is look at the top 7, put a creature into play. Now they have a 10/10. Layer of cultivation. Get out another forest. I can play Toski, I can play Grazilex. Toski has a better chance of actually like blocking. Toski can be the eternal unblocker. Alright, so we just have to hope that they don't top deck into gas. Is basically what this comes down to. Oh, and they have a reach creature. That's great. Well... Okay, so what do we want to do with this? We want to play Grazilex, right? We want to play Grazilex. We can hit with one creature. So, let's see. That will untap the halfling, I guess? Yeah. We're missing something, though. I had to play Toski no matter what. I think, because that's the only way we block. And then the click gets through. We get one untap. That's 2 mana. Yeah. Alright. So, let's go ahead. Play Toski. Go ahead. Attack with both flyers. The Grazer blocks the Revi. We can untap the halfling at least. Mockingbird copying Pock would be something, I guess. Alright, well we can, at least now we can just like use Toski as an infinite blocker. In theory. Birds of Paradise means that we don't get any untaps. Toski has to attack. How do we want to do this? We can still play Grazilex. They're probably just triple blocking so that way we don't draw anything. If we're not going to hit anything, then... Yep. Block. Block there. Okay. So what we do now is we drop Giver of Runes. We can drop Mockingbird as well. Copy the Giver of Runes. And then we can also drop the Burrow Elder. That way we have something to block with. I would prefer to be able to... 6. If they get that Nissa back, we are fucked. We are fucked so hard. At that point, I don't think the Giver of Runes is what we hold on to. Oh no, they're just going to hold everything back. Okay. Great for us. Amazing for us, even. 6 means that Vendilion Click can no longer get through, but now we can Grazilex. If they draw a land, it's a problem. If they draw a land. How do we want to do this? Having both givers is pretty great here. We can tap this for 3 no matter what. Go ahead and play the Whisker Runner. You have to go to combat. And then Toski has to attack. We can use Giver, give Pro Green to Toski to try and get some additional draw. Because Click is not getting through 6. Neither is Derevi. So then, yeah. Tap Pro Green. Oh, God. None of this is just like... Oh, I guess I could have attacked... Oh, I should have played Grazilex and done the Click. Hit the Whisker Veil, I guess. Right? Kind of. This is tough. This is... What gives us the best chance of, like, actually pulling this out? I'm trying to think of, like, what creatures we could grab. I think we target the Whisker Veil. Scrap Gorger would be an amazing card if... had, like... Sithis. Sithis is cool. I guess we could have surveilled beforehand, too. Other tapped creatures you control have hexproof. I think it's just luck of the draw at this point. Like, if they drew a land, they can replay Nissa, and then that's the game. Yep, okay, so they do get Nissa, that's GG's. Yeah, I should have played Grazlex and then Swan. So that way, we at least get a chance to recycle the click. That was just bad sequencing on my part. We managed to survive somehow. At least long enough to give ourselves a chance. Alright, Admiral Brass, Unsinkable. This is another really hard beating. Like, Looter doesn't get there, the One Ring isn't fast enough. Swords to Plowshare is exactly what I want to see early on. It's a Changeling Outcast. I'll go ahead and start on the tree line. We got Toski, Fairy Mind, and Welcoming Vampire. So we have some late game setup. Sailor. Okay, there goes Swords to Plowshares. Yep. Now Freebooter has to trade with Mastermind, and they just get it back anyway. That's not good. We can use the Revy to block the Freebooter, I guess. But we just need to keep Admiral Brass off the board. And I will play the Mastermind at the end of their turn. If I play it out now, it just needs a Fatal Push or something. Free combat, and then they're open to like do anything else. At least this way I can make sure that they don't. Okay. That. Let's go ahead and play the Mastermind, shall we? Or maybe what we actually want is Surveil? Maybe what we actually want to do is Surveil. Yeah, we have all the greens, so let's Surveil blue-white. See if we can start digging to an answer. Authority of the Consuls is amazing here. Okay, so they can counter this. I'd prefer that they didn't. But they did anyway. Oh god, I needed that to resolve. One less if you control Pirate. That's what it is. So we're just gonna get hit for 2 now. Or no? Just the 1? Okay, so they're leaving back for the Mastermind because they want to play their Admiral. Alright, let's go ahead and play the Mastermind now. Alright, we're tapped out. Nothing? Okay, I'm cool. Snow-covered plains. I'm holding up the Tails End that they don't know about. This also gives me the option to Derevi. Malcolm. And then what? Be in combat, they make a 4/4. I could Tails in Malcolm. I just let Malcolm land. I have to pretty much drop for this turn. I'll try the Mastermind with Malcolm if I need to. Although Mastermind off of Malcolm. That means I get to draw an extra card too, right? Right. So I might actually let Malcolm hit me. Yeah, I'm gonna let Malcolm hit me. Because like this lets them filter at their hand. But now Mastermind gives me an extra draw. Yep. Okay, I get a Needlethorn Drake. And a Mausoleum Wanderer. Okay. We have some options here. I can drop the Welcoming Vampire. The Derevi is also relevant. If I can drop the Welcoming Vampire, I just start taking over the game, right? If I drop Mausoleum Wanderer, I get locked out of playing Derevi? Ah, that's so whack! If I do that, I might as well play the Welcoming Vampire first. Okay, now I have a Flooded Strand to work with. They can't play Admiral Brass this turn unless they specifically hit Dark Ritual. Which, hey, given how fast that deck wants to be, that's entirely possible. Roaming Throne, doubling Pirate triggers. I don't enjoy that. This is a first striker. Oh, now they're going to go ahead and swing it. Roaming Throne, that's interesting. What are they planning here? Okay. That might have just been a bad attack. Like, that might have just been just a click too fast. Because I don't think they actually wanted to give us our Swords to Plow back with a Roaming Throne out. Enters, mill 4 cards. Begin combat of your turn to make a pirate, so we can actually just, like, get rid of Brass. The Throne is a later turn problem. Now we've also got Toski and Derevi coming up. Welcoming Vampire is going to start drawing us cards. Okay. I don't know how we did it, but we managed to hold off on that one. Partly because I think Admiral Brass didn't have the fast start that I was really scared of. It looks like they only had one counterspell too, which they used on the Authority of the Consuls. But hey, at least the Derevi deck is working. We're being surprisingly competitive against the decks that would actually scare me. Like, even if we're losing, we're still competitive in them. Now, part of that is them not being as explosive as I keep having to anticipate them being. Oh, I don't think we're suited against Davriel, like, at all. The Authority Councils, Elvish Mystic. Elvish Mystic into Flare Cultivation, maybe with a Brazen Borrower. Authority Councils. This doesn't really do a whole lot against Asarak. Trying to think. And the opponent goes first. If we get Thoughtseize, they might take the Borrower. But I guess I'll keep this. Play the Arctic first. We've also got snow covered here. Go ahead and put a... I kind of want to put a Plains into play. Then we play out an island next turn. So grab a Plains, grab a... Oh, what do we... We want to make sure we have double blue probably in case they have... No, we only have like one big island left in the deck, so let's just go ahead and grab 2 Plains. Just in case they are playing the Winter Moon. Alright, so there's Iron Crag. Davriel's gonna come out. We could actually, like, put the Iron Crag back into their deck so they don't get it. I could also play Derevi to replay the Authority of the Consul. World's our oyster right now. I think I'm probably into Brazen Borrower, the Iron Crag to slow them down a little. The only card we have is Wanderer, so that's pretty great. You can Derevi end of their turn. Worn Power Stone. Okay, well, let's go ahead and keep that away. Here's a Plains. I could go with Brazen Borrower. Everyone's gonna probably want to go down to 2 though. Let's just go ahead and play out the Plains. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead, put Derevi into play. Resolve. Tap down the Power Stone. And long goodbye. Yeah. Untap? No, we do not. Oh, they can play their Iron Crag now. Yep, they can go ahead and play that, so they can play Davriel, no problem. We'll probably just do it again next turn. So what I would like to do is play this breeding pool past turn. Yeah. And play the Wanderer. Alright, so same thing. Go ahead. Play Davriel, resolve. Tap down the Warm Power Stone. Move the stop. And they can play more spell. They're not gonna. They want to get Davriel down. Wanderer only shuts down instants and sorceries. Like, I've got nothing but lands. Unless they have a Mind Rot effect, they can't make me lose all those. So Derevi's gonna keep harassing Davriel. Like, they can tap out. Oh, they're gonna Toxic Deluge. Alright, well, we're losing a creature anyway, so might as well make him, like, tap out for it. Yep, we'll just go ahead and put the Derevi back in. And we get to do it all over again. That's pretty great for us. So we'll have 2 mana. We can run the Fairy Seer out. This is a pretty good turn to... Let's see what else we got. Tomio, yes! Yes, Queen! Alright, so once again, like, we can just, like, keep doing this. And until they, like, draw more mana, they can't do anything about it. Well, that is mana. Are they gonna play Davriel? I don't think they want to. I think they want to try and, like, keep trying to 1-for-1 us, but Derevi just, stops everything. They could try and, like, neg-3 Derevi. Yep, that's what they're gonna do. Move to command zone? Yes. Yes, remove all perpetual effects. Okay, so here's Tomio. We're currently at 3. So I don't want to play Tomio this turn. I could play Tomio this turn. Okay. Think about this. I think dropping Tomio's actually deals combat damage. We get to draw a card.
Every story is an opportunity for new data. I should have brought more parchment.
This does unlock their Power Stone for like a turn, but getting to draw the extra card. Ah, that's so good. Here's Invasion of Gobakons, and now we can take a look at what's in their hand. Sheoldred, Necro Dominance, Lily. The Sheoldred probably spooked me out the most. We don't have removal for Sheoldred. The Necro Dominance. They get to draw the extra cards. They currently have... Hold on, they're at 4, 5, 6, 7. That's exactly what this is. Let's hit Sheoldred, I think. So they do get to start going off. But they were going to go up regardless because of the Hive Tyrant and the Iron Crag. Okay, they're going to go with Key. They could potentially bolt, I guess. They're going to drop the Necro Dominance. Okay. And then Lily's probably just going to make us sacrifice the Fairy Seer.
This is my home, and I don't appreciate it when people
Let's see, this
touch
is
my
tap up to
property.
2 target non-land permanents. So we can actually use this to lock down Power Stone and Key. Yeah, we lose the Fairy Seer.
Sacrifices must be made.
Yeah, let's go ahead, grab another Surveil land. What do we want? We have 2 white sources out. We probably want our hedge. Spectral Sailor. You know what? I'll take that. And then, yeah, let's just go ahead and tap down both the Archive and the Power Stone. And then we can Derevi end of turn, hit the Hive. And they have only 4 mana left. They can't play Sholdred. That way they can't just like hit Tamio. And then we also have the ability to drop the Spectral Sailor. Wow, they're the only one discarding a card. This has got to be like miserable for them. The Shoulder, when it comes down, is actually going to be a massive, massive problem. Let's go ahead. Plus here. Alright, go to combat. Swing both of these at Lily. Lily's gone. We get to draw 2 new cards.
I'll take my zombies and leave.
Winter Moon is a hell of a drug, but it doesn't actually do anything right this second. Mockingbird as another Spectral Sailor doesn't make a whole lot of sense when they can just Wrath. The biggest issue is that the Hive Tyrant can menace. So let's just pass turn. I think Tamio's just taking this one on the chin. Time Warp. If they have another land, they can do something. Like they can hit with Hive Tyrant. Yeah. Okay, go for the throat. Alright, let's go ahead and draw an extra card. As Castle Vantress. You know what? Let's draw another card. Not ideal. They do hit the. They do have another land. All right, so here's Davriel. They don't have enough for Hive. They're gonna start going off with Davriel's offers. So offers and conditions. What are those? They're gonna draw 3 cards. And at the beginning of the upkeep, lose 1 life for each creature you control. Okay, sure, yeah. Drop the Castle Vantress. Revi probably just eats it if we do this, right? But like, we're just, it's not like we're gonna not. Go to combat.
Have some of my notes.
Attack, Davriel. We get to draw an extra card now. Burrow Elder. I am A-okay with just dropping a couple of Lukey creatures. And then we can flash in the Borrower on the next turn. The Mockingbird. I think we need to do a whole lot about. Like, they got to refill their hand. Tamio is gonna eat it like here in a second. Oh, okay, that is nasty. So the Perforator Crocodile is gonna put a stat wound on each of our creatures. And we're gonna just like lose 2 life each turn for that. Derevi no longer does anything. We're gonna have to Legend Rule Derevi out with Mockingbird, I think. Hive Tyrant comes in. It hits Tamio. This does mean I can actually Brazen Borrower, though. Yep, Spectral Saber's gone. Choose up the 2 creatures. Here's the Brazen Borrower now. Yep, we're gonna lose all this life. Swords the Plowshares. Don't mind if I do. Alright, so Elder and Brazen Borrower.
Every story is worth listening
Go to combat. 2. We get to draw like 2 cards. The Revi is going to trigger, so we get to untap stuff. I don't think we have anything to like flash in, but what I can do. Ah! That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to pay for like a free Castle Vantress. Ah, well. Swords the Plow. The Crocodile's a problem. Probably just want to like... A 2 for the bird. I will choose to keep the red. Okay, we're done. The opponent is done. So we play Derevi. We keep the one that does not have the stab wound on it. We still have the Elder to worry about, but that is okay. The Crocodile is a little bit of a problem. But we can swords that, I guess? We're going to untap the Faeborough Elder for sure. That way we can potentially double block the Hive the Eye Tyrant. We also have the option of, like, play Derevi, tap down the Crocodile. Okay, we got there. Tomio, thank you so much. Normally, playing against Davrio is like a nightmare. But we got through it. Ow, my throat. I'm like, honestly, deck's working. We still need to work on some, like, some tweaks. Let's take a quick look. See, what are we, like, unhappy about with the deck? As much as I want to, like, capitalize on some of the one-sided Wraths, like, split up, I think we might just need to use a straight-up Wrath of God. I think the engines that we have here are good enough. Whisker Veil Forerunner is so good for this. This is what? Mana value 3 or less? Actually, hold on. We were up against that Pock deck, right? What could we have pulled out that would have helped us? Maybe an Enduring Innocence because it also has the lifelink. Any of these draw cards would have been great. Delny would have been amazing. I might want to put in a Savine's Reclamation or a Helping Hand type card. Specifically, just so we can get a little bit of recursion going. The Winter Moon has unfortunately not come up in scenarios where it's been useful. But I still believe. That we could get there. Scrap Gorger as Graveyard Hate is fine. Shoreline Looter actually helped out a bit. We still have Fairy Mastermind, Beastbinder. We still have Selfless Spirit as helpful Wrath Insurance. I thought about putting Boromir in, but I tended to value the evasion. Mockingbird is really cool. We can also use Mockingbird to copy their cards. One of the things I could have done is actually wait for them to play Sholdred and then Mockingbird the Sholdred. Now we have a flying Sholdred. That just kind of offsets all of Sholdred's effects. I kind of forget that I can do that sometimes. I can't think of anything that I'm, like, particularly unhappy with. We just kind of need more games. What I might want to do is play the Archon. I might want to take a look at some of the Death and Taxes tech. maybe include like a the anti-plot bird. The archive might work out because we're kind of spending a lot of mana on Derevi. Prosper in this environment is not good. I like seeing Brainstorm in a fetch land, but not when we have to like use the fetch land to fight the blue source. Brainstorm, Store Tamer, Negate, and Nadu. I don't think Nadu survives a black-red deck. Let's go ahead. We'll put this on blue so we can scry away. I'll take Captivating Road. It's an awkward land, but it's not the worst. Okay, they are also going to go Forsaken Crossroads. We have Dueling Crossroads. They like their card. I can play the Catacombs. I can also just hold the Brainstorm to protect Nadu if that's what they do. They decide to go with a Thoughtseize. Otherwise, this represents an untapped land. Let's go ahead. We'll put this on green. And then this will grab a green-white source, I think. That might be a mistake. I might have needed to put this on white because this always grabs green. I can double up on either white or blue depending on what I think I need. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and Brainstorm so they can, or no, Dark Rit so they can just go ahead, get Prosper out. And that means we're going to go ahead and Brainstorm so effectively. Haze of the Gateway doesn't get there. It's not, it's removal, but it's not the right kind of removal. Flare Fortitude could help. Negate Siren Stormer with Nadu. What is this? Exile the top card. When you play a card from exile, you make a token. So I don't think the Mastermind helps out. Put the Mastermind back. Put back the... Sacrifice the Derevi to protect things. Put back the case. I don't think we're going to get to 4 creatures. Hold on to the Mastermind, in case I'm wrong. They get Roaming Throne. I can play the Storm Tamer. I think that's what I do. I think I do that in preparation of casting Nadu next turn. We have plenty of interaction. Storm Tamer can protect. There's a Signet. That's fine. We're just looking to stop like the big stuff. Croxa. Each opponent has to discard a card. Let's see, I'm probably dropping the Mastermind then. Alright, pass. We'll take the one there. And then I'll wait until after Prosper's effect resolves to crack my fetch land so I have more information. Spiteful Banditry is the exact kind of thing that we're going to need to hold off on. So yeah, we're going to grab blue. We're going to grab white. White? No, we can't. It's going to have to be... We need white for sure. But we're using green? Okay. Lush Portfolio it is. Polluted Delta. That's a blue source. So then, let's think. They have 2 cards. They can't get Croxa out just yet. Spiteful Banditry does kick out the Storm Tamer. I can play Derevi, untap a land. Go ahead, go to attacks, play the Storm Tamer, untap. Now we get to untap another card. Alright. I could play Nadu now, too. Play Nadu now. They have 3. They can play X for 3. I'm going to go ahead and hold back. For like a turn. They want to try and tap out for Spiteful. That's fine for me. Ah, okay. I need to do this to protect Nod. This is just like any non-land value 3 or less. They could try going for it again. Spiteful Bandit for 2 does not kill Derevi. It's for 1. Now target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control. I can't actually utilize that. What is it? 3. I think I have to be fine with that. They get the treasure. Yep. They get a treasure for the trouble. That's fine. I'm gonna take an extra 1. Yeah, 3 cards in graveyard. We don't have to worry about Croxa just yet. Jasper! And then this is a Warlock. Are Warlock's Outlaws? They are. And then it's just gonna be another land. Okay. So always grabs a blue source. We need to grab white. Tree line is not what I want. Vendilion Click. Okay. Well. What would I like to do with that? Beginning of your upkeep, exile top X cards. Until the turn, you can cast those cards. What if I would love to be able to hit? I'm gonna put a stop on their draw. Okay, they only hit lands. So let's go ahead before they draw. Crack this. Resolve. Grab basic forest. It's dicey. I already have. Okay, so proceed the draw. Now we click. Target them. The One Ring. That is a card I cannot let them have. Mayhem Devil is a problem. Because now they can just sacrifice. They don't have any treasures? They don't have any treasures. Okay, yeah. Just get rid of the One Ring. I still have Flare of Fortitude for Derevi. They can play Mayhem Devil. They can kill the Click. That will let me draw an extra card, which is, you know, great for me. I'll cash the Click in. Begin your upkeep. Of each opponent's upkeep, next time they would draw a card, instead they impulse. Alright, yep, that's fine. They can sacrifice the treasure. If the Click dies, they get a new treasure. So they can potentially do 3. Okay. So if I were to do this now, right? Let's pass the blocks. I will exchange the Click for Jasper. And I get to draw off this. Yep, I get the draw. And then I can sacrifice for Nadu. They have to crack the treasure. Target the Click again. And I just get like maximum Omega value from that. They do get another treasure. Yeah, they get the treasure off the flare. Winter Moon. So they would get to untap only one of their cards? They have 2 basics. That would slow them down a bit. Notably, the Mayhem Devil has to target something. So they can probably just like hit Jasper or whatever. Party Thrasher. You have to impulse draw. Counter spell. That doesn't help us this turn. How do we want to do this? The Mayhem Devil is a problem. If I had just one more land, I could Winter Moon. I can Derevi, untap a land, Winter Moon, but then I'm actually just locked out of like everything. Let's go ahead. Activate Derevi. I would love to hit Nadu. Just go ahead. Nadu can go ahead, target itself. Tap. The Needlethorn Drake is also really awkward. It looks like they hit our Tamios. Yep, so they get a treasure. They get another treasure. Derevi can now be shot. The Mayhem Devil, I think, pulls them too hard out of this. Like, there was no way that we could just let them have the One Ring. But letting them keep the Mayhem Devil is devastating. The only consolation is that Nadu is getting us value off of any of our stuff being targeted, period. Now they can go ahead, like Cruxa. This is going to be, what, 7? Okay, this is 8, 9, 12. I can block something with Nadu. But with the fucking Tamio safekeeping out, it just doesn't matter. We're down to 6, and they can have enough cards. No, they don't. They don't have enough cards in their graveyard yet. If I can drop Delny next turn, we can try and go off. Okay, they have the 3. So they can just, like, shoot Derevi at any point. Like, Derevi is just, like, factually gonna die. Trying to think here. I can also, like, play Delny. And then they target Derevi. And that triggers an additional time. Let's see if that works. Alright, it kind of does. Let's just go ahead and swing in. Target. 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 Let's put our faith in Nadu. Fairy Seer. Turbo Elder. Land. Land. Untap target permanent? Yes. Untap? Yes. No. No. Alright. Not the worst. We're not out of the woods yet. We have 4 mana to work with. We can play to the Delighted Halfling. It doesn't, that way it doesn't just like die. The Fabled Passage is gonna trigger the Mayhem Devil. So I can Delighted Halfling, Fairy Seer. And like they can shoot each of those, but then I get additional triggers off of Nadu. Spell Pierce doesn't help. Maybe it does. I'll leave the Scrap Gorger on top. Potentially getting that next turn. So good. I'm gonna think we have to put this. No! Ah! Hold on. This thing, this fucking Jasper Lizard. You got 1, 2. So anything that I put on top is actually just gonna be like gone. It's gonna be awful. So I can't actually even do that. Like, we have exactly 5 cards that can block. If you upkeep exile the top card, you can play that this turn. So they hit our Esper Sentinel. They have Crucius here. Now they can discard a card to get additional cards out. We just didn't see any of our interaction to stop Prosper. They can play Shouldered or Carnosaur. I think we're cooked. Like, we still have Nadu potentially getting us additional value here, but we really just needed something to start to do anything. All right, yep. They can just like shoot us for lethal now, so like that's game. The Mayhem Devil is like obscene. We needed to draw a plow. We needed to draw literally anything that would deal with it. We couldn't see it. We tried. We tried. Nadu gave us a lot of looks. You just never let the Mayhem Devil stick around. Cavern of Souls is kind of amazing here. Snake Rogue. Curiosity. Trying to think here. We can Polluted Delta the first turn. Surveil. We're on the... kind of playing behind, though. As good as the Cavern of Souls would be, we get, like, a couple of rogues in. This isn't... Hell! It's got Delighted Halfling. Not nothing. Although I think if they just Stern the Halfling, we're in trouble. No, it's Brainstorm. Okay. Authority. We have Mockingbird here. We get Mockingbird copy of the Eluge. Not nothing. Castle Vantress only comes into play tapped if we control an island. I would like to play Mockingbird copy the Halfling, but I can't. Pass the turn. Awkward. Really awkward. And they're gonna gain control of her. Well... That's disappointing. I'm gonna need a way to like tap her back. Yep, there's... Now they can counter something for 2, kind of. Do I want to Vendilion Click now? I think I have to. They can't be countered. I set it for the draw step. Go ahead, play the Pilgrim here. Yeah, we're in a really difficult spot. Not getting the colors that we needed when we needed them, and then having our Halfling stolen. Gonna make this really rough. All right, so we are gonna go ahead, let him draw. Yep, here's the click. There's not a lot that they can do to stop the click. And we can remove the biggest spell that they're going to have. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and give them a redraw. So Stubborn Denial to counter. 3 steps ahead to counter. Create token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control. Rewind counters, unwind counters, Flow of Knowledge, and then Huyan Ling. Huyan Ling might actually be the thing that we need to stop here. Like, they can just go ahead and Flow of Knowledge now, but at least as far as legendary cards go, they can't stop us. And they don't have any interaction beyond that either. So we're gonna go ahead and take that 5. That sucks. Now I'm gonna set a new upkeep stop because we have to use Derevi to shut down, to keep Eluge from attacking for a turn. They flow of knowledge. They draw 3, 4, 5. Then they get. Then they only have to discard 2 cards. They discard 2 cards that we know about. Blah. Not ideal. Plus, the Pilgrim is our only source of white outside of the Halfling. I would like to play the Authority of the Consuls just to keep like any sort of flash shenanigans from happening. Okay, that gives us a little more room to work with. How do we want to do this then? Let's go ahead, play the Authority now, I think. Because I don't want any Malcolms or anything like that getting in the way of the click potentially getting in. Currently at 4. Alright, so we're just gonna have to race. They do get to cast another spell, probably like a 3 steps ahead on the draw to discard one. Let's go ahead, tap you. Yep, resolves. They have to have a stifle for this. Alright. Tap down Eluge. Resolves. Excellent. Tap. Yep. Now, what this does mean is we can actually start hitting them, tapping down their islands in combat. Nykthos is a problem. Try increase our chances of getting something to resolve. So we do have 2 flyers. Tap down Island? Tap down Nykthos. River's Rebuke. We'll just scoop hit there. Like, we're not beating Eluge, and they have our Delighted Halfling. Not when we're that far behind. The Vantress coming in tapped there is part of what killed it. I might have needed to mulligan to a stronger hand, but Delighted Halfling is a good solid keep. Maybe less so if you're on the play, or no, maybe less so if you're on the draw, because then they can go island, they can hold up Stern Scolding, they can hold up any number of 1 mana kill the stuff. Getting matched against Nadu as one of our last games for the day is kind of stupid. Nothing we have interacts with this. Elvish Mystic with Brazen Borrower and Scrap Gorger could work. Rivendell only comes into play tapped if we control a legendary creature. What? The opponent's going to go first. So they're going to go turn 1 creature, or turn 1 land, turn 1 elf. Probably even halfling just to spite me, specifically. And then we can Brazen Borrower, bounce Nadu back to their hand. They get value off of that. The tempo is not strong enough there. I think we have to mulligan a little harder. Tails in, maybe? The Authority of the Councils. Put back the Authority. Vantress will come into play untapped. Fabled. Yep, there's the Grazer. And we have our own Nadu. Trying to think if that's good enough. Because now they can go island, play Nadu. I think I have to just crack this for the forest. And then cry. It's really hard for this. Lotus Cobra. Okay. Well, I didn't have that on my bingo card. Now, they might be doing that so that way they have miscast backup. Go ahead and stop the tail's end. go ahead, crack the prismatic vista. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, there's an island. They now have... Which one is it? Any number of soft permission works here. Yep. Repulsive mutation. What is this? Counter up to one target spell unless it's controlled pace from mana equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. I can play Nadu here. And then I could play Derevi. I think I just play Nadu while they're tapped out. Minus like one forest. And then next turn I... Oh god, I don't have any white to play Derevi. Oh, that's disgusting. Animal Sanctuary puts a counter on their Nadu. Our Nadu can't keep up with that. Now they have Allosaurus Shepherd. I did not think about this like at all. I'm not going to attack in because they very likely have just a an untap the Nadu. Yeah, the sequencing for this was incredibly poor. I forgot that I needed the Halfling and or the Birds of Paradise to like get anything going. Yep, there's the Allosaurus Shepherd. Nope, we're just gonna take that, unfortunately. This is rough. Like, we have plenty of strong late game value here. This needs to be... Read the starting player. White. We're gonna take the untap here. And then that means that we can go ahead, use the halfling, tap for green, play Derevi, untap the halfling? Yeah. That's the only way that we're going to start doing any sort of catch up here. Flare of Cultivation isn't. We could actually... We've already made our land drop for the turn. I might play Birds of Paradise here. Sacrifice it to Cultivation. Just so that way we can get another plains on the board. If they counter this, I'll be a little surprised. Definitely need to grab on the battlefield. There goes into my hand. We're gonna get God if they try and do anything with Nadu. So we'll just pass the turn. And then I can go ahead, block with Derevi, start using Derevi. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's just enough to start going. Like, we're starting to pick up some momentum. I'm just worried that Nadu is so far ahead. Oh. How about that? They decided to do our trick. Well, fuck me, I guess. Damn. Okay. Oh. Okay. You know what? That works for me. Here's Takassi's welcome. Here's welcoming Vampire. I get the draw off the welcome now. Here's Pilgrim. Get the draw off the Vampire. That Swords the Plowshares. Pass the turn. What do they have instant speed to do? Fading Hope to on the Allosaurus Shepherd. That tells me that they're really interested in digging for something, or they want to hold on to the Allosaurus Shepherd specifically. I think I need to exile their Derevi. Tireless Provisioner. Oh, they have all the mana in the world. This is destroy all creatures power 3 or greater. We can play that. We lose out on our Nadu, though. And they're going to grab Bristly Bill so they can just start going off. No, they're just... Never mind. I'm done. As soon as I realized they had the Eldritch Evolution, I should have just picked it up there. Alright, so the deck is still really lacking for interaction. I need to find more things to cut for that interaction. Some of the issues that are coming up are just from tempo as well. Including things like the Castle Vantress, which requires an island to come into play tapped, has been hurting us. I think part of that is also just my mulliganing decisions. Ideally, Vantress can help us dig once we have just the dead hand draw. Rivendell's probably even more so. So like I think I would absolutely cut Rivendell for No Covered Island. The Rivendell untap condition is significantly harder. If we see a Winter Moon really early on, I would like to be able to focus on grabbing basics if we can, but that hasn't really been possible. In that scenario, I really wish the Dusk had been a Wrath of God, but there's just, again, no real way for that to work out. And no, I don't think, even if we were still earlier in stream, I don't think I let the Nadu player play out. Not if I'm trying to, like, iterate a deck and work on it. Like, this being a non-deterministic combo kind of makes that rough. We do get to kind of play some of the cards like that, though. I think we have one. Yeah, we do. Other blue creatures have, whenever this card becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. Other artifacts creatures you control get 1/1. Pay 2 life. Target creature becomes a blue artifact. Activate only as a sorcery. They could just pay for that with all their loading mana off of the treasures and off of the Lotus Cobra. I don't think this actually gives us any utility. At least not any meaningful utility. It does let us kind of loot through stuff when we have, say, a Derevi and we can tap and untap her. Maybe something like a Skyclave apparition could work. Even something like a Lauren. Lauren has a Naturalize attached to her. She's also a 2-sided draw. I really don't like the idea of giving the opponent all those draw effects, but that is something. The Free Strider Lookout. In those scenarios where I'm trying to slow down the opponent, I think the Lookout is perfectly crimeable. Elder can be some strong acceleration. I did enjoy having both the Flare of Cultivation and the Flare of Fortitude. We never really saw the Flare of Denial to get used, but that would have been very handy in some of those scenarios, I think. Derevi just always costing 4 helps out a lot. To where if we can just pass the corner and get to that 7 mana point, we're pretty good. But we don't really have the space or time to really use any sort of like larger manipulation. Maybe could find a way to put in a Hera perhaps, just to try and get that extra speed, but then we have to cut out something else. Flare of Cultivation I really like specifically when we were up against those heavy removal decks. I think that's honestly Cultivation's biggest attribute. Is if you can go turn 1 Elvish Mystic, but you know that they're gonna bolt the elf or they're gonna swords it or whatever, then you can just cash it in immediately for that ramp. We were surprisingly competitive against the decks. Untapped GG was doing weird. Maybe Sarth. We didn't really get a chance to see Sarthis, weirdly enough. So we probably just go ahead and say cut to start this. Turn all creatures' power 2 or less from graveyard to hand. I like that. That's actually pretty great for us. Delny popped off. We got to see Welcoming, both welcomes, Endurance, Innocence. Change the split up for just a straight up Wrath of God, I think. I'm happy that we got so much utility out of Vendilion Click. That actually makes me really happy. I did not want to cut this card, like, at all. I think we still want to hold on to Lookout, especially since we are in those matchups where if we're tight on time, if we can just like land the Lookout on turn 3 and then turn 4 we start instant speeding Derevi to commit crime, then Lookout potentially helps us make that turn. You can always just loot away the Winter Moon. But I also think enough people are being smart and running basics that Winter Moon can't do the job that it's supposed to do. Tails End, Counterspell. You'd love to potentially see this into a mana drain, but the double blue can be rough on a 3-color base that's been struggling like ours is. Selfless Spirit just to prevent harass. Doesn't really help against the rafts that we're already struggling against, which is like the Toxic Deluges. Invasion I think works out. I don't think Case of the Gateway Express does what we wanted to do. Having to go much wider than we already are. So then, what are we currently at? We're currently still at 34 creatures. That's a respectable amount. I like Mockingbird a lot. We saw Mockingbird do some cute stuff with the potential to do even more cute stuff. Yeah, I think with things like Invasion and Flare Fortitude helping us out, this is what we need to do in order to make the room for the interaction we desperately need. Ideally, creature-based. So, if we think about it like that, what do we want? We could play Witch Enchanters just so that way we have like an extra land in the deck. You could go Rek'Sai's, but because we're in Bant, we have some pretty cool options. We could play that Cathar Commando. Knight of Autumn isn't a bad one. But at 3 mana, I think that's when we want to be like... I think that's when we want to start being careful with what we're doing. We might even just go with instant speed stuff. The color requirement on Rek'Sai is lesser. Maybe I do play the Commando specifically because it does have the flash. Orchid by Phantom has land destruction. What are we thinking? Artifacts your opponent's control interplay tapped. Actually, hold on. What utility can we get out of our flyers? I do think we'd go ahead and we play the Archon. Where is it? There it is. Archon of Emeria. Each player can't cast more than one spell each turn. Non-basic lands your opponent's control enter tapped. That could be worth trying out. I would really hesitate to go with another Bygone Bishop. Whenever you cast the cheaper spells, they go off. You could go with like Elite Spellbinder too. As another creature that sets up tempo. That's a little higher on the 3 cost that I want. So let's, I think these last 2 slots, just really want to make sure. I think I want instance. What do we have in terms of like interaction? There's a soul partition. Settle the wreckage. I think we want routing, actually. Let's reset this. It's actual fact. Just give me actual factual Wrath of God. Burrow, unfortunately, fantastic card. I don't think it's quite for this deck. Speed. You can play Void Slime. I would like something that affects. I don't think we're gonna get that at speed though. Yeah, I think what we really want is. There wasn't exile target non-land permanent you don't control until this leaves. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional mana. That's like 4. You control have vigilance and survival 1. Gets back artifact. It's probably pull from the moon, I think. Reflection net, exiles creatures. Simulation Aegis also exiles only creatures. Yeah, I think we just do pull. Just to like some more of that. Alright. We'll call it there. And then we'll do some more stuff in a couple of weeks, actually. So reminder that on Friday we will be doing Raft with friends. Next Monday, I'm going to be doing my Dustmourn in review section. We'll be tearing out all the brand new commanders. And then we'll be getting ready for Foundations. We'll it'll be the day before the Foundations come out, so that'll be the day before we crack packs. Alright, folks. I think that's about it for the day. We'll see you next week. Same hero time, same hero channel. Bye, everybody.